Let me ask you about that Buster beat. I mean, because that's I do a little DJing, and that's always, no matter where I'm at, I'm throwing it on. No matter when I'm just home practicing, I'm throwing it on, no matter what.
Well, it's interesting because I had been producing records for about 10 years before I did that Busta record. And if we flash back, I met Busta when he was 16. Me as a producer, my evolution into becoming a producer started through lyrics. I'm a lyricist first, and as a result, I went to a studio in Long Island, where I'm from, in Hempstead, and it just so happened that the leaders of the new school, who I didn't know at the time, they were budding artists out of the studio. They were like the prodigies that were getting ready to come out of that studio. And in order for me to even get in the door of that studio, they were like, we like you, we like what you do, but we're R&B dudes. We want some young cats in your peer group to see what you sound like. And if they mess with you, then you got a shot with us. We'll sign you to our indie label, XYZ. So I met Busta, Dinko, and Brown, and immediately they were like, yo, so what you do, what you got? And I was like, I'm a spitter, I take it very seriously. And then Busta and Brown, they interrupted the conversation, and they said, wait, hold on. Now, mind you, this is 30 years ago. They were like, hold up. Don't I know you from somewhere? And I was like, nah, I never met you brothers before in my life. They said, no, we've seen you somewhere before. And then I think it was Brown who was like, you got booed at that talent show last week. So now, mind you, I'm trying to impress these people that I'm around, and the front line of defense is Busta, Brown, and Dinko. And they're like, yo, last week you got booed. So now they put me on blast in front of the people I'm trying to impress. So my back was up against the wall. So out of instinct, the first thing I said, I'll battle all three of y'all. So my introduction to the leaders of the new school was battling all three of them by myself. I'm still standing. We have a mutual respect. I have a feeling I did pretty good that day. And we've been friends ever since. And 10 years after that initial meeting, but because of our friendship, Busta was accessible to me. So me and my partner, I had already gotten out of the business. I had done Belle Biv DeVoe. I wrote three records on their first album, on the Poison album. I wrote Thought It Was Me, I wrote Let Me Know Something, and I wrote Ain't Nothing Changed for them with the Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad were the writers for that particular, were the producers for the project, and I wrote on those songs. And as a result, that just kind of launched my career to a whole nother level. But we fast forward about 5 years after that, I had already lived the hip hop lifestyle, and it's been just about every single penny that I had. But I had the great time, and I got memories that you'll never forget. But, so at that point, I was actually back to civilian life, and I was working in a restaurant, me and my roommate. And I still had my machines. I was still cooking up stuff. And I had raided my mother's record collection, and we found this little loop of this folk record. My mother was a gospel disc jockey, so she had a decent record collection, but it had a lot of 50s and folk music, and it wasn't like, a lot of the typical type of things, the soul. It wasn't the Temptations. It was more like Shirley Caesar and James Cleveland and other artists from the 50s that were like doo-woppy. So I found this one particular record, Seals and Cross, and I just kept playing it. And my roommate was like, yo, this is crazy. He's a technical wizard. So me and him collectively, we put it together. I kind of filtered in the ideas because I'm not as technically inclined as he is, but I hear the music and I know what I want. And he was able to help me translate electronically what that record was supposed to sound like. When we finished, Busta's road manager came in after the party because he was out partying, and he would just come by after he hanged out all night because we had kind of like a crash pad. And he came through, my man Fab, and Fab heard the track and was like, whoa, this is crazy. He said, I'm taking that to Busta ASAP. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I was already kind of beat up from the game. I had made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, and I was very pessimistic about the industry itself. So, I was making my money at the restaurant. I was living a decent existence. I had no real exterior complaints. And he took that record to Busta. Busta called us feverishly the next day, said, "I need that record ASAP." And to me, I think of all my tracks as a "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See" because I'm the creator and I put a lot into all of them. But that particular one, and I knew it had a different ingenuity than a lot of the records that were out during that time period. But for some reason, Busta gravitated to this track. We loved that track. The road manager lost his mind, took it to Busta. Fast forward about a week later, we were all in the studio. Everything came out exactly as planned. Busta came up with those lyrics and married the two. And the thing lived in history after that. When it first started playing, I was like, "Oh, this is dope. Everybody's feeling this record." And that's when it first came out. Then it was about a year later, and I was like, "Oh, this is dope. People still playing my record. That's dope." Then it was like 5 years later, and I was like, "Oh, this is dope. People still playing my record." Now it's 30 years later, and I'm in a club full of young cats, and I'm in the corner hiding out because I'm probably the oldest person in there, sipping on my Moscow Mule. And then they put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See, and the crowd, the millennials flood the dance floor like the record came out in 1997. And I just thank God for allowing me the gift to be able to get that to the people, man. And that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.